From the city of brotherly love, this is Shark Bite Biz with David Strausser.
You did it again. You just arrived to the newest episode of Shark Bite Biz. I'm your rock star wannabe host, David Strausser, and this is your place to learn how to grow a business during complete global chaos. As always, this episode is brought to you by our amazing sponsor and Acumatica and SAP Gold partner, Stellar One Consulting. If your business is ready to move off QuickBooks, some other antiquated system like Maz 90 or something like that, green screen even, give us a ring. Let us help automate your business, break through the barriers preventing growth. Just shoot me an email, david@sharkbitebiz.com, or go directly to stellar1consulting.com or stellar1.io. Now let's get back to today's episode. We're chatting about the CEO mindset. So who do we have today? None other than Dena Patton. Dena Patton is an elite business coach and transformational speaker, has worked with thousands of purpose-driven business owners and world-changing leaders around the globe. Dena helps her clients become great leaders who are building great companies. She founded the Dena Patton Coaching and Training Company 22 years ago while living in New York City, where she created her world-class greatness methodology. Her 3-pillar coaching approach can help you build the systems to be a well-oiled company, the strategy to be a well-marketed company, and the greatness mindset to be a well-led company. As a speaker, coach, and best-selling author, Dena has garnered over 60 media stories, and she leads from 6 core values: courage, accountability, authenticity, faith, integrity, and of course, fun. So without further delay, hey, let's bring Dena right on in here.
Business strategy.
Dena, welcome to Shark Bite Biz. You, my friend, you just became Shark Bait.
I can't wait.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on. And we have a tradition on the show. Very first question we ask every single guest is, what's your background? What's your experience? What do you do for a living? How'd you get there? Basically, in a nutshell, tell us what makes Dena Dena.
Oh my goodness. In a nutshell, moved from Phoenix to New York City on a hope and a dream at 21 with $1,500 and started my own small business, a marketing and PR agency at 24. At 27, had a stroke and a real opening recovery for a year. I had to learn how to speak again. And in that recovery, really realized my business was killing me because I had horrible small business habits, and like a lot of people do. And I really realized I need to sell this business and push the reset and start over. And I did that. I was really blessed to be able to sell that business, help them grow it for about a year. And then I started this business 20 years ago, my coaching and training company, and have been doing it ever since, coaching entrepreneurs and leaders around the world.
That is awesome. And when you say around the world, how many different countries have you worked in so far?
Well, oh gosh, I haven't added them up collectively, but like right now I have 19 clients in 5 different time zones. So I always have 4 to 6 time zones going at once. So the majority in the US, but I always have about 10, 15% in other countries because I do a lot of speaking at global conferences and podcasts, and people from around the world, they go there. And
same thing.
Yeah. They hear you and say, I want to work. So it's great. I love it. I have a Dubai client right now. I have a South African client. I have a London client. And here's the thing. Small business is small business. If you're running a small business, there's core things. It doesn't really matter what country you're in. There's core things that you have to master or your business flails or fails.
Oh, yeah, definitely. 100%. So let's jump into our first topic, which is probably the hottest topic. Let's jump right in for the meat and gravy, as they say. Okay, the greatness CEO mindset for business owners. Okay, Give me that greatness CEO mindset. I mean, what mindset should CEOs have in order to reach greatness?
Yeah. So, in a nutshell, I love that we're speaking in nutshells because I love justing them down right down to the core. We're all born with greatness. We're all born with smallness. One of my passions is helping leaders and entrepreneurs start to live and lead from their greatness. So that's one distinction, is really starting to recognize I do have greatness. I can be a great leader. I just have to know the tools on my tool belt and utilize them. So that greatness piece is really important, in calling ourselves on when we're being a small leader, a fearful leader, a doubtful leader. When you're leading from fear and doubt, it is not a lot of fun for you or your team or your business, right? But the CEO mindset, you never will have a fairy that comes out of the sky and says, okay, Brad, you've had a business now for 3 years. Bing on the head, you are now a CEO. Like, there's no one that's going to give you a trophy or an award that says you are now a CEO. I encourage everybody to think like a CEO. If you own a business, you're the CEO of that business. And what happens is people are an entrepreneur, they think like an entrepreneur, and 3 years, 5 years, 8 years goes by. Somewhere they get the realization, you know what? I need to start acting like the CEO of this company. What I'm here to say is start acting like that and thinking like that, strategizing like that, leading like that today. It's a totally different mindset.
We've heard on this show from a couple people talking about the mindsets of CEOs, and some of them were great minds where it's like, you know, as the CEO, you need to start working on your company instead of in your company. Are you of that mindset as well?
100%. 100%. And that is part of moving yourself from an entrepreneur mindset to a CEO mindset, is starting to duplicate yourself. Starting from, when you look at your to-do list, all the things you're doing in your business, probably 70% of them don't belong on your list, right? So we need to start delegating those, systemizing them first. I'm a big systems person. Create the system for it, so then you can delegate, right? Whether that's to a contractor or to an employee. But slowly over the next year, you want to get 60 to 70% of those things off your list and onto someone else. And it will help you start to really focus on the CEO you have to be.
Right. And I think that that's critical because, being the CEO that you have to be, I think a lot of times, will be the difference if your business thrives or if it takes a dive.
Totally. It is all about who do you have to be. So I have a story every single one of my clients goes through my mindset process. So they've all had this kind of transformation where they're going from in their business, they're very much in the weeds, day to day, they're in it. And slowly over 6 months or a year, we get them out and we start to really have them show up as the CEO. Their eyes are on the vision. Their eyes are on
like KPIs?
Yeah. Here's our 3-year vision. What are all those KPIs and milestones that we have to hit? Just like any goal, if you're going to lose weight, if you're going to get out of debt, we need milestones, right? And because sometimes that big goal is so overwhelming and so big, our brain just turns off. It's like, no, I can't do that. But you can get to that next little milestone, right? And that's what is so important in this process of moving you from an entrepreneur in your business to the CEO of your business. And it doesn't happen overnight. It usually doesn't happen, within a month or so. But it's, give yourself 3 months, 6 months, a year. And it's this slow process of getting things off your plate At the same time, you're elevating yourself in your leadership, in your mindset, in your vision, because that's a full-time job. It's just a full-time job. Driving that train, making sure the people are right who are sitting on your train, and making sure that the train stays, clear and powerful, and getting to those milestones and getting to those visions.
Okay, so let's switch up a little bit, okay? Because again, you're talking about how a business owner or a CEO can get out of working in day-to-day business and start working on the business. Part of that is your people have problems, okay? And you have a three-step approach as far as how a CEO can help solve their people's problems. What is that three-step approach?
Number one, who do they have? First of all, let's just say every small business have people problems. I think there's this illusion that if you solve this one, okay, there's not going to be any more people problems. As long as you're in business, you're going to have people problems. It just is.
What do you define people problems as? Let's take a step back.
Yeah, that's actually a good question. Because if I look at my variety of clients, there's some clients who have 15 employees, and there's some of my clients who have 60, 70, 80 employees, but they all have the same people problem. First and foremost, do you have the right people? If you don't have the right people, you have to either move their seat, like they're in the wrong role, or you've got to fire them. I think most people don't like firing people. It's very hard. It sucks. It's welcome to being a greatness leader. You have to get rid of the people because it's probably torture for them too. If it's torture for you, right, to have them, they're probably not having a good time either. So, and every time someone fires someone, they always say, oh God, I should have done that 6 months ago.
Right. So let me ask you this question based off that statement right there. Fast to hire, slow to fire, or slow to hire, fast to fire?
Fast to fire. That's
to fire. There you go.
Slow to hire, fast to fire. And I have a hiring process. I think a lot of entrepreneurs, I know in my first company, oh my gosh, I knew nothing about hiring the right people, putting the right ad out to attract the right person. And then the interview questions and the process, three interviews. Oh my gosh, I was horrible at it. And, know better, do better. Know better, do better. And we get better and better and better at things. So that's number one, is making sure that you have a system in place so that you are hiring the right people and you have the right people on the train. That's one, because if not, they're going to be disrupting and draining you and your team. Two is their work ethic, their productivity. Out of a 10, say your best employee is a 10. They're on time, they do great work, they're productive, they're contributing to the team, they're represent your values, all that good stuff, right? Well, look at your employees that are hanging out at like the 5, 6, even 7 level. How are you going to allow that? Because what we allow continues. You can't just hope, I'm just going to hope those 5 people get better. That doesn't work, right?
But is a 7 out of 10 that bad? I mean, I'm putting it into this sense, because you got to remember, not everybody is an all-star, okay? Sure. But if you have someone that shows up, maybe they're a minimalist to some degree, but they get their job done, and they're on time. They have no issues, but they're not an all-star. And you're like, yeah, they're a solid 7. Is that someone that you really want to get rid of?
I wouldn't necessarily get rid of them. Now, it depends on your team. If you only have 6 people and you have 1 or 2 or 3 people hanging out at a 7, that's going to drastically affect the team because it's so small, right? Versus if you have 50 people, 60, 70 people, 100 people, and you have a handful or even 10, people hanging out at a 7, again, they're solid workers. They're just not, that 8, 9, 10. But you know what? They're fine because they're not draining others. So I would say Now, if they're a 7, more like going on a 6, do you see that? Like they're going the wrong direction? Different conversation.
Yeah, totally different conversation.
Yeah. So number 1 is wrong people are there. 2 is wrong seats. They're in the wrong job. 3 is their productivity and contribution to the team. And then 3, when you have that CEO mindset and you're looking out in that vision and you know how you're scaling and building your company, are your 6 and 7s a fit for your future? Like they might be a fit for now, but they're not going to get you there where you're going. So that's it's a strategic thing that you have to think about is there's people that are so great in helping you now, but they don't have the skill sets or the mindsets or the leadership to go where you're going. And that is, and that's where you have a real decision to make is keep them and hope that they come along, or you can keep them and empower them through, the power of personal development, get some more leadership tools on their tool belt. There's a ton of ways we can help our employees win, elevate, grow. So, but you have to put that time and money into your team, right? So, and I think a lot of small business owners, we're so in the fire and just, you're trying to, make payroll and make more sales and do all the 50 things that there are to do. It's like, who has time for personal development, professional development? You got to make time for it because that's the only way your people, it's critical for growth and for your people to support you in where you're going. It takes it.
Definitely. So let's switch topics because there's one I want to talk about before we do end our conversation in a couple minutes. But sales marketing strategies for those businesses that are between $2 million and $40 million. That's a lot of the businesses I work with. I think a lot of our listeners probably fall in that range as well, too. What are some of those sales and marketing strategies for companies that are in that range?
Such a good question. I love sales and sales systems. So the 3 things that I coach people in is their leadership, their sales, and their systems. And most people, if you're at that 2 million above, you have all 3 of those. You have leadership, you have sales, you have systems. However, if you gave yourself an audit, where would you be landing, especially in sales? When you look at sales, do you have a really well-oiled sales system where you know exactly your sales system steps, you know who is implementing each one of those, right? I have a PR firm that she has 15, 16 employees. 4 employees are in and around the sales system. And then she has another 3 on her onboarding system. But they all were like, there was a system there, but it wasn't tight. It wasn't a 10. And these 4 people in sales and 3 people in onboarding were just like, they were there. They weren't assigned to a step, right? So there was people stepping on each other's toes. There was some miscommunication. It's like, oh, did you say that? Oh, wait, no, I already said that or gave them that. And there was just a lot of like miscommunications that didn't have to be there, right? We want a well-oiled sales system that goes into the onboarding system. I'm a real advocate for really clean, great onboarding systems. When someone says yes to you and they have bought your product or your service and said, yep, we're going to go with that package or that offer or that thing, that is when the onboarding process starts. Step 1 right there. And you should be able to communicate, all right, great. This is our onboarding system. So I have some clients that have 4 steps in their onboarding systems. I have clients who have 15 steps in their onboarding system, right? So it's really important, not just the sales process and sales system, that it's really clean, really the people who are involved know what they are going to be executing. And it's a great experience for your customers. And you should be closing 3.5 or more out of 5, or your sales systems are ineffective. If you're closing 3 or lower, your sales system doesn't work. There's something that can be tweaked or added or taken away to make that sales more effective.
Isn't that so? Here, devil's advocate. I mean, isn't that a little bit industry specific per se? Like, for example, I'm in ERP sales. ERP sales, very competitive, and you have some out there that will all of a sudden give you 80% discount and free implementation, not naming anybody specifically. But you have competitors that do that, and it no matter how good of a job you did, they're like, hey, this price is so much lower. We're willing to take the risk, even though we think we're better. And it brings down your close rate. So is it industry specific, or are you talking general?
In general. And this is why so in target markets, we have champagne clients, wine clients, beer clients, which a lot of people have heard that concept.
Yeah. They have champagne taste, but with a beer budget.
Right, the beer budget. But they are beer. They are the only filter that beer clients are looking for is cost. So they are looking for the cheapest. So the most affordable plumber, the most affordable software, the most affordable coach, right? That is the number one buying psychology that is only that they only have, right? So that's beer. Wine is, I know the quality I want, but I know I have a budget, and here's my budget. And I know my budget, and I'm going to communicate my budget. And so they are looking for that plumber, that coach, that software, but their eyes are on quality. They just have a budget. Champagne clients, their eyes are on quality without a budget. They're like, whatever it takes to work with the best, right? So their filter is, I want the best. I want the most quality, the most experience, right? Very, very different buying psychologies. And so in your marketing, here's a perfect example. I had a very high-end remodeling company. Okay, they do great, very expensive work. Well, they called me and said, we are just struggling. Out of 10 consultations, we're only closing 1. I mean, we're just exhausted, right? And once I looked at their marketing and then their sales system, what was happening is they're a champagne company. They're high-end, expensive, great work, award-winning, all of that. And they want to attract champagne clients. But their marketing was very beer for some reason, right? So they were attracting the beer clients. There was no lack of people coming into their consultations. They were just the wrong clients. So one after another, they were very beer clients, right? They were attracted to the beautiful, oh, I want this beautiful remodel, right? But once they got into the consultation, they learned how expensive they were, and they would go away, right? So there was just a disconnect in their champagne client that lowered their marketing messages because they wanted to attract, but they were attracting the wrong people. It didn't work at all. So we cleaned up their marketing to be champagne, to be in front of champagne people who were really looking for really qualified work in remodeling. Totally changed. It just completely transformed their whole company.
That was going to be my next question. How much did it transform by once you changed it?
It literally went from closing 1 out of 10 to 8 out of 10.
That's amazing.
Yeah, because, well, the people coming into a consultation, if you have a mindset, this is smallness mindset, scarcity, fear is, I just need more consultation. I just need more clients. That is a scarcity mindset. Who you are going to attract is beer. They are looking for the cheapest thing, right? Whatever you are. And I promise you, it is a losing strategy because you're going to get them in. Yeah, you might close them. And guess what? Soon you're going to hate working with them because they are so beer.
Right. Understood. And that's how it goes a lot. So we do have time for one more question before we wrap up. And I want to ask, how do we turn the tables and create a truly great client experience? I think that's how you keep customers coming back for more and more and more and referrals and all that stuff. So the client experience, I think, is critical.
Critical. And it's something that I love my clients because every one of my clients is in it for the transformation. They are like, I am sick of playing at this level. I want to be at this level, right? Whether it's their sales systems or their brand or whatnot. So where that starts is, again, everything starts in mindset, is you getting aware of your customer's experience and really saying, I'm going to take this to another level. This is our brand. This is what we stand for. And this is how I want our brand to be experienced. It doesn't matter what sector you're in. And so it starts with that commitment and that mindset from you, the CEO. Then we go to work. And I would say, first of all, it starts, your customer's brand experience starts when they start to see your marketing. So they saw a blog or you speak or your website or your social media. That's where their experience with your brand starts. So look at that. Then they get into your sales process. Look at that. What's their experience through your sales process? Is it great? Is it horrible? Is it disconnected? All of that. Then guess what? They say yes to you. And where the magic starts is that onboarding process. You've got to make sure that your onboarding process takes care of your customers, that they're fully communicated with, fully taken care of. They are just like coming, they're coming into your brand as a paid client. They should feel taken care of, right? So that onboarding process is where it started in marketing and sales, but man, once they say yes, that onboarding process is your opportunity to really show them what your brand's about, your values, what you stand for. And that should be felt throughout your onboarding process. And then as they start to work with you. And that's where I think a lot of leaders, that's why I say it's a full-time job being a CEO. You need to make sure that everyone along that process is aligned to your vision, mission, values, brand. Because if they're not representing that, then what is the customer getting? They're getting all your employees, like say they have an experience with 15 employees, they're just getting interaction with those 15 employees versus a unified brand experience.
Right. No,
Yeah.
Totally understood. Hey, Dena, this has been amazing, but I've got to ask, because I'm sure so many people out there are wondering, how can people get in touch with you, your business, LinkedIn, whatever you want to share? Tell us all about you right now.
You're so great. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, easy. My website is where everything is. So Dena Patton, Patton.com. And everything's there. My book's there. My services are there. I'm very transparent about what I offer, my prices, and all my LinkedIn and Instagram are all on there. So DenaPatton.com.
So all your socials there. One website for it all. And everybody that watches this show, right below the little blurb about the episode, we are going to have the very first link is going to be a link out to her website. So please go check her out. You can tell she knows her stuff, and she can probably help your business break through any barriers that you're having that's preventing growth. Dena, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problem. Thank you. And, best of luck. And I hope to have you back on again sometime in the future.
Awesome. Will do.
Awesome. Thank you. Cheers. That was an incredible chat with Dena, right? First, you all know the routine. If you found this interview helpful, if it sparked those warm and fuzzies, do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. But if you really want to help us out, because you know Shark Bite Biz is the greatest kept secret in the world of small business, please share us out with your friends, your family, your colleagues, anywhere you dwell on the interwebs. I would love to see nothing more than Dena Patton and Shark Bite Biz out there trending. Anyways, awesome stuff, Dena. Great job. You totally rock. And I love how you help people grow as leaders. It's part of our philosophy, the 3 G's, the personal growth, professional growth, and of course, business growth. Please check out our website at denapatton.com. Question of the day. What do you think of executive coaching? Leave a comment down below on YouTube. I'd love to see your feedback on this one. If you want to be a guest on the show, we're doing season 8 interviews at sharkbitebiz.com. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, please join the channel. For only $3 a month, $3 a month, you can become a baby shark. Every dollar in is another dollar we put out in production, ads, whatever it may be. And please don't forget our sponsor who makes this show possible, okay? If you're on QuickBooks or some other solution, NetSuite, God forbid, it's time to upgrade. Let's get you into a Tier 1 solution with either Acumatica or SAP, as we're gold partners with both of them. And that's StellarOneConsulting.com or StellarOne.io. You all know this by now, but I'll tell you once again, I'm David Strausser. This is Shark Bite Biz. We'll see you all next episode. Cheers.
You've just experienced Shark Bite Biz with Dave Strausser. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the show to help us spread the word about personal, professional, and business growth. Want to be on the show? Send an email to interviews@sharkbitebiz.com. Special shout out to our sponsor, an SAP and Acumatica Gold Partner Stellar One. Get off QuickBooks. Automate businesses' processes and have your business reach the stars. StellarOneConsulting.com or reach out to the show. Till next episode.